listening to an episode of Financial Insight with Rob Wilson. Our mission is to change the speed of wealth creation for you and your family. We invite you to visit our website, IamRobWilson.com. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Now get ready to change the speed.
Hello, this is Les Brown, Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Whenever you're faced with any kind of challenges financially, make sure you listen to Rob Wilson. He'll provide for you solutions and remedies that will change your life.
Welcome to the second portion of 7 streams of income, right? Not 7 jobs. And I want to be very clear on that, because if you skip the first video and you come into the second video and you're thinking about, is this a get rich quick, or is this going to be something, a multi-level marketing? What am I actually talking about? What I'm talking about is making clarity, bringing clarity to you as it relates to personal finance, money management, but most importantly, right now, we're talking about income, the different types of income. And in the last session, as we talked about 7 streams of income, now let me point out something. When I give you the 7 streams of income, that is the bonus. But before we get to the 7 streams of income, and not the 7 jobs, I'm not talking about 7 jobs. I'm talking about, based on the biblical principle, Ecclesiastes 11:2 said, take thy portion and divide it into 7, yea, 8, because you never know what the earth might produce. So I'm going to show you 7 streams of income. Actually, I'm going to give you 8 and 9 streams of income, and they all will start from a basic format. But in order to do that, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand that there's a lot of people that's going to get rich off of you. And listen, one day I'm going to get rich off of you. I just want to put that in front of you now. One day I hope to get rich off of you. But as I get rich, I want to enrich you in terms of giving you information that have changed your life, that you will come back and reward me and say, hey, you know what? This brother gave it to me right. He took me down the right financial path. He gave me resources that nobody else in the market was given to me. Now, see, here's something I want you to understand. What I'm about to share with you is not new information. It's not new. You've heard it before. You actually probably have been in pursuit of it before. You have probably tried over and over and over again, and you just can't seem to get 7 streams of income working for you. Perhaps maybe someone didn't tell you the real secret. Well, my plan is I want to engage you and tell you, or enlighten you. So as much as this is going to be about the 7 streams of income, it's more about financial insight that would change the speed of your wealth creation by you understanding what these income processes are. There's 3 areas of income that we talked about, that we established. And actually we talked about many others, but I want to break this down. You have active income, you have passive income, and residual income. Not 7 jobs, people. Listen, I'm not going to talk about 7 jobs, but I will deal with 7 jobs. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk to you about maybe 30 jobs that you could take that people have promoted and talked about. And I'm totally in disagreement with that. But, that's another conversation. Let's get to where we are going. We're talking about the types of income. And let's get this very clear. These types of income is nothing new to you. The information I'm about to show you is not new. What's going to be new is the precepts and the concepts of what I give you so that you can put in your mind. The things that will allow you to have a paradigm shift of your thinking. Something that will, as I often talk about in my book, Wealth Increasing Now, the action influence of understanding what you're doing. First thing we talk about is active income. What is active income? Active income, all of us know what active income is. And if you don't know what active income is, let's talk about it now. Active income is simply, you got a job. Yeah, you earn wages, tips, salary, commissions. You got a job. Okay, or you can be an entrepreneur. And then, or you can be self-employed, because There's a difference between an entrepreneur and someone that's self-employed. And that's another conversation, but we'll talk about that as well. Not in this video, but in another one. Okay, but we want to break down this element of it. So when you talk about active income, you cannot look at active income as being the element of your wealth. The active income, as you will later on find out, is that it becomes a vehicle for all the things that you want to do in your wealth creation format. Yeah, let me say that again. Your active income, your wages, your tips, your salary, your commissions, income from your business, all of those things become elements for you later on. Then we talk about passive income, right? Passive income is that money where you don't have no effort at all. You know, you did the work, you initiated it. Now you sit back and you let the money go ching ching, ching ching, ching ching. You earning money while you sleep. That's where everybody's trying to get to, right? And I'm gonna take you there. I'm gonna take you there, but I'm gonna take you down the slow road to get there, guys. It's not a fast fix. It's not a fast path to passive income. Now, as you're gonna see in this segment, there's a lot of things that people associate with passive income that, you know, once I show you the precepts and the concepts of what I want to give you, I think you will have a different understanding of passive income, because there's an element about wealth creation, wealth accumulation, that there's a wealth creation and wealth accumulation. Again, two different things, but they work hand in hand like a hand in a glove. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about how those things impact your passive income as a part of your overall picture. Then we have residual income. Residual income is kind of tricky because actually, you know, if somebody were being truthful, right, you could take residual income and split it right down the middle and put some of it in active income and some of it in passive income and just say, hey, look, get rid of residual. Just completely get rid of residual income. But no, residual income make people feel good. I mean, that's why most of you do the multi-level marketing or some of these other type of businesses that say, hey, and you get residual income. You get residual income. And residual income is good. Now, understand something. I'm not saying that any of these incomes are bad at all. None of them are bad, right? None of them are bad. But here's the thing. Right now, current day, 2020, in August of 2020, the saving rate for America is at its lowest form than it has been in many years. The bankruptcy rate is at the highest level. The foreclosure rate is trending again. The repossession rate is trending again. Defaulted student loans is trending again. People living paycheck to paycheck is trending again. Homeless, people losing their homes to foreclosure, is trending upward again. So when you start looking at all of these elements in our society that we measure about whether or not the society or individuals are doing good in the society, when you look at that 94% of our society, right? You see that savings is down, investing is down, foreclosure is up, bankruptcy is up, debt accumulation is up, defaulted loans are up. All of these things are up. And so what's happening? What's going on? Why? What's going on with active income, residual income, and passive income? Why is it not working for the 94% of us? Because no one has actually given us the right formula to build and create and make sure that these things are available for us in our financial lives. So as I move forward with these things, remember, I'm not going to show you anything that you haven't heard of. It's going to be the concept and how you use it. It's going to be the wisdom and the understanding that you now have and the knowledge base for you to now do something different with your money. Let me say this as we relate to active income right now. Let me say this right now. Let me get this right off the top, right? Your salary is not your wealth. Who am I talking to when I say that, when I make that statement? I'm talking to those of you that have these six-figure incomes. Those of you who would never tell me, hey, Rob, I was listening to your video, right? But you earn six figures and you live a six-figure life, right? And you basically are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of people are under the impression that individuals who are living paycheck to paycheck are individuals who are not earning money, but that's not true. The majority of the people who are living paycheck to paycheck are individuals that are making six figures or the high five figures. Yes, yes. You say, Rob, how do you prove that? I have you as clients. I see your numbers. I see your numbers. And it's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that no one has really given you the premises of how you should begin to earn your money and create wealth and build wealth and accumulate wealth in that process. So what have we been doing? Let's talk about what we really have been doing. We've been working hard. We've been going after this active income. We've been trying to get it, man. We've just been out here doing our thing. We're trying to survive. We're trying to build a financial life. Most of you that's listening to this video, you're listening to this video because you are interested in the passive income. And I'm happy that you're interested in the passive income. But I don't want you to ignore all of the other elements that leads you to the doorstep of passive income. Why? Because if you ignore them, you will fail at your efforts. You will fail at your efforts. Let's move on. Let's look closely at active income. Let's break active income down. And I want to be kind of careful how I mix this, guys, because I want to make sure that you are understanding that as I mix these salaries around, I myself will shift them, take them out of active, put them in residual, take them from residual, put them in the passive in a heartbeat. Because there are some very dynamic elements that would say, you know what, this can be over here. But I want you to see these items sitting here in active income. And I'm going to tell you why after I go through these. Let's look at active income a little bit closer. You're looking at salary and wages. You're looking at earned income. Now, some would simply say earned income is salary and wages. But earned income can be not from your salary, not from your wages, but you could be self-employed, where you are actually paying yourself a salary from your self-employment. Now you say, well, I'm an entrepreneur. Well, yes, same money, okay? Same money, earned income, earned income. It requires you to work. And here's the thing about active income. Active income requires your time, your efforts on a consistent basis in order to consistently keep that income coming in. You cannot have active income and sit home on the couch and watch television. Now, if you got income coming in from that position, you're in the passive income, baby. That's where I want you to be. But if you ain't there, guys, hey, active income, meaning that you need to be out there killing something every day. Every day that you want to eat, every day something must die. Every day that you want to eat, something must die. In the sense of you must earn money. You must earn money at all times. Earning money, active income. Then you have profit income. And we'll talk more about what profit income is in a moment. Rental income. Now, profit income and rental income can go into residual income. And some would even say Well, wouldn't that be passive income? Not necessarily. See, you can have rental income because you have a little hut in your backyard that you're renting out. That's rental income, but that's just income. Next month it might be empty. And when you create residual or when you create passive income, it's not going to be every other month. It's not going to be every now and then. It's going to be a consistent flow of something that is creating revenue once you've created it. We'll talk. Oh boy, this is going to be real good. Royalty income. Now, royalty income, that's one of those things where, I love to see my royalty check come in on my books and some of my videos and some of my tapes. I love to see royalties come in on that, but it's not that much. It's good, you can have royalties come in from business opportunities and business contracts. You can have royalties come in, as I will show you in a moment, as we move on. Let's look here. Let's look at these things. Let's break them down again. Earned income, tips, net earnings from self-employment. Tips and net earnings from self-employment. And anytime we use the term net earnings, that means these are earnings after you have subtracted all of your other expenses and taxes from that revenue in order to call it net earnings. Okay? Make sure you understand that. So if you're self-employed and if you pay yourself, now here's the thing, when you pay yourself a salary inside of your revenue and your earnings, then that becomes your payroll, right? So then that falls into that wages and salary. Okay, that falls into wages and salary. It's still revenue. It's still revenue. But and even though we're talking about these revenues, I want you to understand this, and I'm gonna put this out here a little bit sooner than I wanted to. But I want you to understand why I'm talking about active income and why I'm trying to break these income down for you. In order for you to build and create anything, you need material. If you're gonna build a house, the scripture in the Bible says, would you not first consider the cost of building a house before you build it? Because if you did not consider the cost, that your neighbors and the people passing by was like, look at him, look at that fool. He started building a house and he didn't have enough money to finish it. So you have to consider the cost. If you're going to build a foundation of passive income, and let me make this very clear to you on the very top end of this. I'm not talking about 7 jobs, people. I'm talking about passive income. One of the most powerful, dynamic things that you can create in your family's life. Wow. I am so ahead of myself. I am so ahead of myself. But this is serious, guys. Listen, let me get back here. Profit income is the net amount of money left after all deductions, costs and expenses and taxes from your revenue. And see, profit, again, here's another one of those things I was telling you about. Profit income can very easily go into residual or even go into passive because it's profit from your overall revenue. This is not from your salary. This is not from your job. This is from money that you're producing in another aspect of your elements. And you'll see that when we get to residual income, rental income. Rental income is any payments that you receive for the use or the occupation of property. Hey, listen, I know people who rent their cars out. Seriously. I have a friend that has a Maserati, right? And on the weekend, he might pick up $1,800 because people want to have a Maserati on the weekend, right? And he rented out by the hour. It's like, dude, people actually pay you to, like, yeah. Rental income is not just simply from rental homes or an apartment. or anything of that nature. Excuse me a moment. So when we talk about income, we talked about royalties. Royalties payments for, look, patents, copyright work, natural resources, franchises. All of those things are royalties that you can get. You know, you could be a franchise owner. You could be a part of a franchise owner, and you get royalties. You know, you can patent something. You can get somebody rights for the use of your work. You can give somebody the rights for the use of things that you have written or produced, and you get royalties from that. That's income. The idea is, in order for you to maximize the full foundation of a passive income foundation, you need to establish enough active income to establish the foundation. I wonder how many of you actually understood what I just said. Rewind it, play it over so you can hear it again. I'm not going to say it again. But the foundation for what you want to do, or what you should want to do, is to become financially successful. And if your goal is to become financially successful and you're pursuing passive income, then you want to make sure that you understand income in its totality. Let's move on. Residual income, what it looks like. Your business net income, your partnership net income, your S corporation net income. Now, see, when we get over here, guys, let me tell you something. How many of you are familiar with the terminology, 2 bites of the apple? 2 bites of the apple. Let me let that sink in as we go over here to the next page here. Let's look at these a little bit closer. Business net income is calculated as sales minus costs, goods sold, selling, general, the administrative expenses, the operation expenses, the depreciation, the interest, the taxes. So then the business net income is after you calculate and deduct all these other expenses and all of these other things so that you can reduce your tax liability and so forth, and then the income that comes from that, right? Partnership is calculated and subtracting the total expenses from all total revenues. Very similar, right? But see, as a business, it's one that you own. As a partnership, it's one that you in partnership with. As an S corporation, it could be your business or it could be a business partnership. In the S corporation, now you are allowing the S corporation to be responsible for all of your taxes versus having that to come from your income, right? So when you think about it, when we go back and we talk about profit income, if we think about royalty income, those things can literally fall inside of these areas and look like residual income. They really can. And so we don't want you to not understand that. We want you to understand that. We want you to understand that clearly, because as you understand that, you begin to see that there are certain elements that's going on here that will allow you to change your financial life and do things in a different way in totality. Now, again, we're talking about income, whether it's your active income, whether it's your residual income. In order for you to get to that state or to that level or to that foundation that begins with building and creating a passive income structure, this is what you need to consider. This is what you need to do. You need to have a sound knowledge on earned income, profit income, rental income, royalty income, salary and wages, business net income, partnership income, S corporation income. And let me say something. You know, I'm from the country. I'm from New Bern, North Carolina. Those of you who familiar with North Carolina, the East Coast of North Carolina. New Bern, North Carolina is right there on the Neuse River. I grew up in an environment where I'm country. And I used to remember some stories that I would hear either from my mother, from my father, or some of my uncles, or some of the old guys on the corner. And they used to always say something like, it's a poor rooster who always have only one hen. Let that sink in for a moment. It's a poor rooster who only has one hen. Now, they had a number of references to that was like, I'm not even going to get into that space, but in the space that I want to keep this at, hens lay eggs, right? And when hen lay eggs, that is the production or the reproduction of seed, right? That will allow you to have an egg that you can hatch and one that you can eat. So it begins to provide something for you, right? So if you only have one hen that is producing, then that slows down your ability to eat and grow. Because if you have to eat every day and you only have one hen, that means you eating every egg every day, right? And eventually you might have to kill that hen. But if you have more than one hen, right, that is producing you a number of eggs every day, you can hatch several, you can eat several, and then later on, you have an accumulation of, right, hens, right, and roosters, that now you can not just eat eggs, you can eat chicken, or you can eat meat, and then you can still hatch, you can still sell, and that becomes a bigger asset to you. If you only have one source of income, you're in trouble. If you only have one source of income, you're in trouble. Maybe you do need 7 jobs. Wow. That goes against the total theme of what I started off with, right? I'm talking about 7 streams of income, passive income, not 7 jobs. But yet I'm saying maybe you do need 7 jobs. Only if that's your mindset. Only if that's your mindset. Because I don't want to turn anyone away. Because if you only have salary and wages, tips and commission, you're not an entrepreneur. You're not a business owner. You don't have a partnership. You don't own rental property. You have your job. And you're committed to that job. That job provides the resources that you need for your family. I understand that. So here's the challenge that I want to give to you, especially those of you who are just salary and wages, right? If you're just salary and wages, or if you are self-employed and you just earn income and you just at that bottom threshold, right? This is what I want to give to you. Wake up tomorrow morning with a new mindset. Wake up tomorrow morning with a new mindset. You're not going to work to pay your bills, to meet your monthly expenses. You're not going to work to make sure the light bill is paid, that your car note is paid, that your mortgage is paid. You're not going to work for that. That's what you've been doing. That's the old you. That's the old you. That's old. That's the past. Yesterday is gone. Today is present. Tomorrow is your future. You're going to let go of that idea, that concept, that energy of saying, let me get this job, another dollar, another day. No, this is another reason and another way for you to be able to look at what you're doing differently with your money, or what you need to do or want to do differently with your money. And by the time that we finish this passive income theory, I'm going to show you, even off of salary and wages, you can begin to process. See, some of you are going to be able to jumpstart and run ahead because you have the resources. The others is going to have to, like, you know, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And it's a constant. It's a constant. It's a constant. You know, my Bishop Dale C. Bronner with Word of Faith Family Worship Cathedral in Atlanta, Georgia, he said something once that, you know, he said periodically, but, you know, every time you hear it, it sounds new again. Every time he says it, it sounds new again. And I want you to look at this as it relates to your income now. Let's look at this. What I'm about to share with you, I want you to relate it to your income, your earning capacity, your earning ability, what it has been, and what you have to do to go forward. Is that when a person throws you in a hole, when you find yourself in a hole and things seem to be coming down on you to bury you, two things. First thing, they don't know that you are a seed, right? They're trying to kill you and bury you. They don't know that they're planning you to reproduce. Oh boy, Lord. See, some of y'all got that. Some of y'all got that. But when you are at the bottom, when you have been buried, when you are under the pressure of debt and financial chaos and just chaos in general, and things just keep coming, right? Just keep coming. You're in the hole. They're shoveling dirt over you, right? And you shake it off. And they throw dirt on you, shake it off. And they keep throwing dirt. And every time they throw dirt on you, you're shaking it off. Eventually, the piling up of the dirt rise you to a level that you can get out of that hole. Please somebody feel that. I just need one of you to understand that, just one of you to understand that, and then write me about it later when you shook stuff off of you. When you shook the bill collectors off, when you shook the repossession man off, the foreclosure, and now all of a sudden you're in a new place. You know, it can be done. Sometimes you have to change your focus. You have to wake up in the morning, as I said, and you have to say, you know what? I'm not working to pay bills anymore. I'm not working to pay bills anymore. I'm working to build. B-U-I-L-D. I'm working to build. I'm not working to pay bills anymore. I'm working to build. And when you take that concept, then these income mechanisms that I'm talking about now become relevant to you. See, I want you to become an income chaser. Ooh, I might need to patent that. I might need to trademark that term, an income chaser. An income chaser. Because what you need is the income so that you can produce income. Boy, okay, all right, listen, guys. Y'all about to get me to go down a whole nother road. And you say, I'm blaming you guys for this, right? But it's me doing it, right? But this is what active income does. This active income keeps you busy, man. It just keeps you doing things. It's just you're over everywhere. You have become an income chaser. You're doing a number of things to generate and create income. You're cutting your costs, you're cutting your expenses, you're creating a budget, you're working more than one option, you're looking at ways of doing things differently. You got a new focus. I mean, you're just doing so much differently. You're shopping, you're graduating, all these things are going differently because you are in pursuit of active income. And once you get in this pursuit, guys, once you get into this pursuit, you change the process. You change the process. Then we have the residual income. And I want you to pay very close attention to this residual income piece. I want you to really look at this very carefully here for a second. Look at this. Look at it. What is it? The synonym for residual income is what? Passive income, reoccurring income. Look at all these different income names. I mean, all kinds of income names, right? You got earned income, active income, residual income, passive income, recurring income. And I'm sure we can go out and probably find 15 other terms of incomes, right? So don't get overwhelmed because you only have one right now. Don't become overwhelmed because, well, I don't have enough right now. Yes, you do. If you got $1, it's enough. If you got one single dollar, it's enough. Because see, today you begin with $1. See, $1 will beget $1. So, right? So if $1 will beget $1, that means that $1 will reproduce another dollar. So as you begin taking $1, reproducing it to create another dollar, then you start creating a process. I'm getting ahead of myself. See, you guys are pulling information from me a little bit too soon. Money earned long after work has been completed. Money earned long after active work has been completed. Residual income, active work has been completed. Let me put that in another shadow for you. You know how some of you work on these multi-level marketing things, right? And you have to go out there and you have to sell, you have to bring on other people, you got to do all that stuff, whatever that is, right? And then once you do a certain number, right, they tell you don't have to do anything more because if everybody else keep doing something, you're going to keep earning money. And so if that is truthful, you're going to keep earning money, then now you have this residual income coming in and the active work of producing that has been completed already. The active work of producing all of that has been completed already. So now we look at the next phase of that. The next phase of that is income generated while you are no longer on the clock. Now that's important to understand because that's something I just said, money while you sleep. You're no longer on the clock. You're no longer working for somebody. You've produced something and you now have income being generated from that. And then oftentimes people say, hey, look, it's just freedom. Residual income is freedom. Well, residual income is not necessarily all freedom because sometimes residual income, and listen to me very carefully, I want to be very clear on this. And I want you to understand this very clearly. Sometimes residual income have an expiration date. Let me say that again. Sometimes residual income has an expiration date, much like active income. Active income, you can get fired from your job. Active income, you can lose a contract. When I tell you that, active income and residual income have expiration dates on it, they really do. But here's the thing. When you create passive income and you create passive income correctly, there is no expiration date on it. That's the power of that, guys. Listen, I don't care what nobody tell you. What I'm going to show you is going to be factual. You're going to be able to see this with your own eyes. And when you begin to see residual income, active income, producing residual income, and you see how residual income is being reproduced, then you'll realize, wow, no expiration date. No expiration date. Now, can it run out? Can it end? Absolutely. 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 But if it's built properly, it can last for generations after generations after generations. Many wealthy people are doing that right now. You know, passive income. You know, I would like to call a national superstar, well-known, recently given away $100 million over 10 years. And everybody gonna go Google and find out who's giving away $100 million over 10 years. But they're giving away $10 million every year for 10 years, right? That will total $100 million. They're giving away part of their residual income to reduce their tax liability. Wow. Wow. Wouldn't you like to do that? Yeah, I would too. I would too. That's my mission. That's one of the missions that I have. Yes, that's one of the missions that I have. I want to be able to give away $5 million a year to an organization for a number of years, $10 million. And I already know the organizations that I want to give the money to, organizations who don't get money now, but they do great work. They do great work. Yeah. Let me move on. Passive income. Here we go, baby. Lay back in a Cadillac. Don't have to do any work. Don't have to do none of that. No. This is passive income time. This is money that you're earning with no effort at all. The work has been done. It's been done, and it keeps growing and growing, and just like it's, yes. Each and every one of you want to be in that position. Each and every one of you want to be in that position. I do. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how. But what is the makeup of passive income? Dividends, interest income, capital gain. We talked about these last week. The last video. Taxable individual retirement accounts deductions. Look at that. Taxable pensions and annuities. Oh, taxable Social Security benefits. All of this is passive income. This is the mission. This is what you're chasing after. This is what you're going after. This is what you seek to get. At all times, this is what you're seeking to get. And then you have real estate. I'm not talking about you owning your home. I'm talking about multiple units. Multiple units. But let's look at this because, listen, guys, I'm about to wrap this up. Because in today's session, in today's podcast, I really wanted to drive home to you the difference in active and residual income, active and residual income, because I want to, as we go to the final one, when we begin to do the final piece, passive income, I need you to understand something. It's a process. And if you're willing to systematically create an individual, it's not cookie cutter. So if someone is selling you a package that they're going to help you create and build passive income, they are beginning to build and create passive income off of you, right? Off of you. And listen, there's nothing wrong with sometimes paying for help to move on and to move forward. Matter of fact, while I talk about that, let's look at these. Here are 30 best passive income ideas. These are things that I've heard, and I'm gonna tell you, when you look at my list, because I'm showing you their list, I'm gonna clean this list so clean. I probably will end up with 9 or 10 things off this list that I would tell you that this is what you need to pursue. But here's 30 things that you can pursue in terms of getting passive income. Actually, guys, this is more like getting residual income. I'll be honest with you, it really is. Dividend stocks, peer-to-peer lending, interesting. Rental properties, interesting. High yield savings and money market accounts, CDs, and how many of you know what a CD ladder is? A CD ladder is where every month you buy $1,000 CD, or every month you buy, like in January, you buy a $500 CD, because most CDs have like a 12-month window for maturity, right? Some go 36 months. So let's say over the next 36 months, every month you're going to buy. This month you're going to buy a $500 CD. Next month you're going to buy 1,000. The next month you buy 500. The next month you buy 1,000. The next month you buy this. And so after a while, if you do it for 12 months, do the first batch for 12, the next batch for 24, the next batch for 36 months. Then all of a sudden, after a year, every month you make a decision on what you're going to do with that money. And if you are in a good time where the rates are up, okay, for CDs, then you're making money, or you can move that money into something different. But it's called CD ladder, and that's basically what that is. And most of you never heard of that, right? Back in the day, I'm not going to give the bank's name, but back in the day, they had a program called Systematic Savers, right? And Systematic Savers worked in the same format. And I encourage some of you, especially those of you who don't have a whole lot of money and you need to get in the game, listen, $19.76 a week equals $1,000 a year. There's a nugget for you. Oops, oops, oops. So 1 year from now, right, September of next year, if you were to save a $20 bill every week until next year this time, you have over $1,000 in the bank. That could be your $1,000 CD, right? Some of your minds are clicking, right? Go for it. Go for it. New mindset, new angle, new paradigm shift, new purpose. Go for it, right? Annuities. Invest automatically in the stock market. Invest in a real estate investment trust. Refinance your mortgage. Stupid. Absolutely. Why would, listen, I know you could pull cash out of your house. I know you could pull cash out of your house. But why would you pull cash from your home? That should be the very last step next to cashing in your 401k. Ooh, that's another conversation. Listen, you follow me on these pods, you follow me on my pod, Financial Insight, I'm going to be busting a lot of those things wide open. I'm going to be exposing them wide open. Like I'm working on one now that you guys are going to love. Refinancing your car. Is it a hoax or a joke? Isn't a hoax and a joke the same thing? I thought it was, but I don't know. Somebody told me that it wasn't. I'm still researching that. I'm trying to find out. Come on. Pay off or reduce your debt. That's always a good thing, but I can't see that as passive income. Just can't, can it help you create passive income? Absolutely. I could give that one a thumbs up. I give that one a thumb up. Invest in a business. It depends on how you're going to invest in that business. Are you going to refinance your house and pull cash out and invest in a restaurant? Or are you going to cash in your 401k and invest in a restaurant? When restaurants have a completion rate only maybe 12% of restaurants that start survive. Maybe 12%. And I'm guessing. I have to go out and do some research and find out what an actual number is. But it is not that great. It's not that great. A restaurant, in most cases, is probably the number one business to stay away from. Really. I'm serious. It really is. Because the overhead in that, the food costs, the food preparation, the food expiration, all of that stuff is like crazy, but that's a whole nother conversation. You could sell an ebook, you could create courses online, You can sell stock photos. My son is a photographer, and he goes out and get classic photos, and you can sell those. Don't know if that'll create passive income, or if it created passive income. Don't know what that would look like for you. Create an app. That sounds like a good venture. Yeah, I've worked on doing that myself a couple of times. Let's see what else we got going there. Affiliate marketing, multi-level marketing, network marketing. Design your own t-shirts. A lot of people have been doing that since the pandemic and since Black Lives Matter and a number of other things that has been very prominent in our society recently. Sell digital files. List your place on Airbnb, rental, a car wash. Am I going out and buy a car wash, or am I out there every Saturday washing cars? Because that ain't gonna happen. Come on, sometimes you have to consider the cost. Consider the cost. Rent out your car. Oh, see, I told you about that. That one I know is working. I've seen people doing that. I got a friend that owned a chicken farm. Well, actually, he owned a bee farm, but he raised chickens and bees, and he has goats. He rent out the goats. He sell the eggs, and he sell honey. And then if you got bees at your house, he'll come and collect the bees. Then he'll split them up, create new beehives. To me, that's a process of creating residual income, because in all of those aspects, you have to keep working. You have to keep managing the bees. You have to keep managing the chickens. You have to keep feeding the goats, so that's still work. So passive income is when you have completed the work and the money is still coming. Think about that, when the money is still coming, right? Vending machines, that can be a good source. That can be a good source, but then you have to always restock those, and then maintenance on those things. So that's still work. Storage rental, I think that requires some work. Laundromats, that requires some work. Continuous. Again, passive income should be something that you have started, you've done, you completed it, and that's bringing you money over and over, right? Cashback rewards cards, I don't see that, but maybe. Cashback sites, yeah. Get paid to have an app on your phone. I didn't know they did that. Save up to 30% on your electric bill. I guess that's something somebody threw in there and like, hey, look, I can reduce your electric bill. Give me a call. I'll hook you up with so and so. I remember a company called MCI. And before it became MCI, it was ACI, I think it was. And a friend of mine, he started with that organization before they became a real long distance company. And I had a chance to get in on that, and I didn't. And to this day, I regret that. I regret that. That was one multi-level marketing thing I should have been on. But back in the day, they was coming pretty rapidly, and they were coming pretty good, because you look at a lot of the technology companies, long distance companies, many of them formatted in those ways. Even the utility companies formatted in those ways. So, but these are things that people are recommending for passive income, guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm not trying to. I'm not going to sing you down this road. And when you look at this list, it's discouraging, isn't it? There's nothing encouraging there. Say, yeah, but there may be some ideas that might help you, generate some revenue, because now you're an income chaser. But then, I don't want you to have 7 jobs, though. I don't want you to have 7 jobs. One of my mentors told me one time, he said, Rob, when you find a man with 2 jobs, both of them are wrong. I'm like, why is that? He said, because if the one job is not taking care of you, the second job surely is not going to help. And I was like, wow. I started thinking about that. Then if I got 2 jobs, both of them are wrong. What is that saying to me? It's saying to me that I need to elevate my skill level. I need to ask for more income. And that's a mindset conversation, guys. Let me throw this in here. That's a millionaire mindset conversation that we should have too. See, because as I talk to you about active income and passive income and residual income and all of this is about moving your financial situation to another level, right? But you have to be able to speak what it is that you want. You can't go and apply for a job and say, well, I think I'm worth about 40,000. Go in there and ask them for $85,000. Let them come back and say, well, no, this job only paying you 40. Now you can take it or leave it. Now that's up to you to take it or leave it, but you have to at least set a standard that my qualification level, my time coming in here is worth this amount to you. So, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. When I first started doing speaking engagements, somebody said, hey, Rob, they're going to ask you to tell them how much it's going to cost, how much you're going to charge them to come out and speak. And I had a conversation with Les Brown, and I never forget it. In this conversation, he said, well, listen, there's 3 things, maybe 4 things that you need to ask for. You need to ask for enough money that you're going to put in your pocket when it's over with, right? You need a 4-star hotel. You either need a car on the ground or a rental car. And you need to at least cover 1 to 2 staff members in the travel and their hotel, and there should be a per diem for your food per day. So on a typical speaking engagement, 45 minutes to 2 hours. Over a weekend, you're only going to speak once, but they want you there for the whole weekend. So you want a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay, car rental, a 3-day per diem. That works out to be about $25,000. I'm like, huh? Yeah, $25,000. So I was kind of scared. So I was chicken. I didn't do that. I didn't ask for $25,000. I didn't do it. To this day, I guess if he see this, he'll know I didn't take his advice. But yes, I did. I did take his advice, but I went to $20,000. And when they said, okay, so we'll get that to you. We're going to send you we're going to wire to you 50% today. Once you give us your account number and blah, 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 we'll get the wire out today. The balance of that will be paid once you come. We'll go ahead and make the hotel arrangements, and we'll give you carte blanche on the hotel. Just send us the name of the people that we're going to be staying with you, as well as the individual that's going to fly in with you. And I was like, man, I probably should have said 25. So sometimes you have to change the value of who you are. You have to change the value of who you are to get what you want to have. And that was in 1990. I'm getting ready to date myself, but that was in like 1998. Chicago, 3-day weekend. Yeah. First class flight. And I killed them. About 50,000 people. I killed them. Because they never seen nobody like me before. And you've never seen nobody like me before. So for those that know me, if you're new to this, you're going to love it. Okay, so this is how it looked, guys. Income screens generated. So this is what I want you to look at. And this is going to be real fast. And I'm going to go over this fast because this is where we're going to go in the next one, right? Earn income, profit, active income, residual income. Now, here's the key thing. I want you to look at this area right here. Let me see if I can't dock in this area. I can't dock in that area. Let me see if I can't get back to that. Let me get back to that. I apologize, but this area right here, this column right here, screen generators, right? Okay, for dividends, it's going to take stocks and bonds, and I'm going to share some more with you there. For interest income, it's going to take savings, CDs, investments. For capital gain, it's going to take increased asset values. Oh, we didn't even get a chance to talk about capital gains much. Yeah, and you know, capital gains was on passive income. Okay, a Roth, and I shouldn't have put that out there yet, but I did. A Roth or individual retirement account, I actually should separate the two of those, but taxable individual retirement accounts distributions. Because if I take the Roth off of it, a Roth would not be taxable. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I shouldn't have told you that. I shouldn't have told you that. You know, I done jumped ahead of myself. Did y'all hear what I just said? You're going to have to play it back to get it. You're going to have to play it back to get it. Yeah, you have to play that back to get it. I'm not going to repeat it. Private and government taxable pensions and annuities. Private corporations that still provide pensions and annuities. Private organization and government organization that provide pensions. And see, here's the thing, guys. There's not many companies now that provide pensions anymore. Thing of the past. Thing of the past. Thing of the past. These millennials would never know what a pension looked like. Most of them. Unless they end up with a government type job, right? And then we have Social Security. Social Security benefits come from active income. Then we have real estate, multiple units. These are the generators. That's what we'll talk about in the next section. The next podcast is going to be solely about generating passive income, what it's going to take, how you need to do it, what it looks like for you to do it as an individual, what it looks like if you are a wage earner, salary earner, if you're doing it from earned income, if you're doing it from profit income, rental income, what it looks like when you're doing it. See, and did I ever tell you what 2 bites of the apple is? I didn't, did I? Let me tell you what 2 bites of the apple is. And actually, there's a way that you could do 3 bites of an apple if you're smart, but it takes some very, very diligent work. You know, I've seen people get 4 bites of one apple, you know, and you're like, okay, come on, what is it? Okay, 2 bites of the apple is this. Your apple, you build a company, that becomes your apple. You build an entity, you build something of value, right? And you build it to where you can now sell it. And so by you selling it, right, that gives you a bite of the apple. You're getting a piece. You're going to get paid for the sale of that product, right? And then you have the second bite. Well, when you sell that product with the understanding and the knowledge that this product is going to need my brain power in order for it to reach the projections that cause you to want to buy this. Therefore, to meet those projections, I would stay on as a salary employee, working under your authority to help guide and build to get to this point for which I would get paid and there would be a bonus at the end, right? And then a triple bite of the apple. Wow, this is going so good. There's some new innovative ways that I think I have that will add value, that can double or triple this. And I believe that if we implement these things, that it would do so. But in order to do that, it's going to cost you just a little bit more. 3 bites of the apple. You're like, wow, come on, man. That's a lot of hogwash. Okay. In my lifetime, and those of you who are living, most of you may have seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you go back and read it. In our lifetime, we've seen that. You know what it was? I want you to go ahead, write it down. Say who it was. Ted Turner. TBS, TNT, CNN. Then he bought the movie companies, and then he sold them all off his pieces. You know what I'm saying? Bites of the apple, baby. He could have sold them all as one part, but he didn't. He boom, boom, boom. And then he stayed on for a number of years. What a brilliant mind. And Ted Turner, if you're out there and somebody show you this, yes, man, I call you a brilliant mind. I would love to sit with you and hear some of your stories, man. I mean, I watched you here in Atlanta since 1979, but I would love to just one-on-one with you. Honestly, Ted, honestly, Mr. Turner, let me correct that. Mr. Turner, I would love that. But 3, he might have gotten 5 bites of the apple. I don't know. But listen, guys, the next session is going to be how to take all your income and begin to generate passive income, and what that looks like for you and what it should look like for you. Here are some of our resources. Be sure to check us out. Go to my website, budgetaction.com. Wealth Wisdom 712 is where we provide financial classes and education. My awesome book, Wealth Increasing Now, you can get that on the digital version at IamRobWilson.com. Like us, share us, follow us, subscribe to us, and support us, guys. I mean, I put a lot of effort and work in trying to put these videos together for you. Here's some contact information if you want to get in contact with us. And listen, I really, really, really want to see each of you become financially successful. I want to see each of you make financial decisions that would change your life forever. Changing the speed of wealth creation. We do that by having a paradigm shift in our mindset so that we can begin to accumulate, create, and develop wealth and wealth assets so that we can pass them on to the next generation. Thank you so very much, guys. Until the next video, have a great one.
You've been listening to an episode of Financial Insight with Rob Wilson. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our podcast. Visit IamRobWilson.com and hear additional episodes. Also, support our mission as we take financial literacy to every house. Remember, every decision that you make either brings you closer to or removes you further away from your financial goals.